Zelete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all.
Jacinta is claiming that the Ghanaian government has overreacted. They have respect for Ghana and then the Ghanaian people, but they were only doing their job to make sure that they fix their country. And they were expecting the Ghana government to look at it from the angle that the person entered South Africa legally but overstayed his visa, but not for the government of Ghana to make it look as if South Africans are xenophobic. But the truth is, South Africans are Afrophobic, not xenophobic, because you are only going after the people who are in your black skin. You cannot go and chase the Europeans and other people. Besides that, Jacinta should understand that she cannot tell a government how to react. If they feel that the people in South Africa from Ghana are not safe, you, the people in South Africa, are not the same ones to tell the government how to react to protect his citizens.
The Ghanaian government, I think, I don't know how to, okay, in English it's a hyperbole, ngesiZulu ihaba, where I think the Ghanaian government really overreacted. I think it's disappointing, man. I think we've had a lot of respect for Ghana as a country and for the people of Ghana. We still do. But for them to react in the way that they did is largely dishonest. Because for them to claim that there were people who were beaten up when they know there were no people beaten up, and for the Minister of Police to even echo that is absolutely ridiculous. What we saw in that video was Victoria Africa talking to someone who had broken the laws of the country, come in illegally, well, come in legally and stay illegally, which is something a lot of foreign nationals do. And instead of them addressing that issue in a correct manner, to say, listen, we noted that there's a citizen of ours who was in the country, so broken the laws, these are our concerns, etc., they decided to do a whole PR exercise that would paint South Africa as xenophobic. Very disappointing. And now we've got a lot of these Ghanaians on television actually telling us how they got into the country. Many of them are saying, I'm here in South Africa and I came on a visitor's visa, I'm staying here now, etc., etc. You know, those are the actual events, that there's a lot of law breakers in the country, and we are expecting for the Ghanaian government to address that with their citizens, to say they should not enter into someone else's country under false pretense and then stay longer than expected. Because that is why we end up having the problems that we do. And it's not about xenophobia. They must stop using this word xenophobia, because it's like the most abused word I've ever heard in my life. Everything is xenophobia. This other one, who's a millionaire from Nigeria, says that his passport expired and they refused him entry into South Africa because of xenophobia. So even now, our laws now are xenophobia. Everything's xenophobia. That doesn't even make sense. So we are really, really disappointed with the government of Ghana, because really, they're one of the countries who are not even that problematic when it comes to immigrants. It's not like we've got millions and millions of them like we do Nigerians and committing crime, and the Somalians, Ethiopians, the Pakistanis, and all of these ones that are just criminals, with the Zimbabweans that are loud and making demands. But one thing I must note, that the government of South Africa needs to really tell us who promised people from Africa South African documents. Because every time they're on TV, they're blaming Home Affairs for not giving them documents in time. Auntie, how does immigration work? Do you not immigrate into a country for a specific reason? You don't demand a country to give you documents because you're a refugee. Even being a refugee is a favor. We don't have to make everyone who comes here a refugee. But because we've got a government that's sleeping on the job, that's why we find ourselves here.
First of all, Jacinta Ngobese, one of the leaders of this March on March movement in South Africa, has addressed the Ghanaian government. She said that the Ghanaian government has overreacted, and that, you know, they have a lot of respect for the people of Ghana, but the Ghanaian government coming out to say that Ghanaians were beaten up in South Africa is a form of dishonesty. Anyways, Jacinta and Victoria Africa and the rest, you guys want the betterment of your country. You are protecting your country. Same way the Ghanaian government is protecting its citizens, you understand? Yes, you might come out and say, oh, no Ghanaian was touched, they were just confronted. Yes, you cannot tell the government how to react if they perceive that their people are not safe. You cannot tell them how to react. So the same way you are protecting and, fighting for the betterment of a nation, that's the same way Ghanaian government is also trying to protect its people. So as you say, you don't want, I think recently, either yesterday or something, Victoria Africa went to another Ghanaian who has a shop telling the Ghanaian that the Ghanaian does not have the right to do formal business in South Africa, like the retail business, and that they are coming to close the shop and everything. So the Ghanaian government is saying all those things, and they are accordingly saying that they should come back. 800 people have registered everything. You don't have the right to come and say the Ghanaian government is overreacting. You understand? You say your country, 800 Ghanaians says they will leave. I'm pretty sure a lot more will leave. So if Ghanaians leave, then you can do whatever you want to do with your country. Confronting someone is also a traumatic experience for the person. 50 South Africans went to surround one Ghanaian man. What is it? So Jacinta should not come out and trying to play the victim card, saying that the Ghanaian government is overreacting. The African Day that was celebrated in South Africa, most of the African ambassadors actually boycotted it. They didn't go. So they should stop saying somebody is overreacting.
National TV and threaten violence. Who are you? In a democratic state, express your views, criticize government about its ineptness, quote unquote, in dealing with matters of illegal immigrants. But don't call for violence in our country. We know what violence can do. These people who call for violence, look at what they did in June and July unrest. Looting here in Joburg and KZN. And now they think, no, this thing is doable. You can go to TV and say that on such and such a date, if you don't move mountains, you will see what will happen. You are inciting violence. Innocent people are going to be, you know how many people we lost in the July unrest? More than 400 South Africans died in that thing. We will never support anarchy-driven activities. We're detailing in our statement as a matter of...
The government of Ghana is always doing the things that they need to do to make sure their citizens are protected wherever they find themselves. But we saw videos circulating online how you were treating people. People were beaten. People even lost their lives. So how do we tell whether these people you were assaulting, some were Ghanaians or not? And Ghana government is just reacting in the fate of what they see. The videos were all over. And sometimes you might think that you were only doing your job, but look at the harassment. You didn't even allow the person to even explain anything. You were only interested in the things that you have in your mind. And like this man is asking you, what right do you even have as citizens in South Africa to be going around chasing people, taking law into your own hands? You don't also have the right to do that. I don't think that South African, your laws allow you to go after people. That is why you have the police, you have the immigration officers, you have other people that their duty is to make sure that people who are in South Africa obeys the rules and regulations. Yet we see that all these things are not being respected. And you expect the Ghana government to sit here and still do what you think is right, and then how you should treat Ghanaians. And when you finish, you then tell them how you expect them to even respond to issues pertaining to their citizens, Jacinta. You are going after the wrong people. And let's ask you, ever since you started closing those plaza shops, closing the shops and sacking foreigners, they are illegal migrants and all that, what situation or what problem have you been able to solve? Did it reduce the unemployment rate of the South Africans? You need to be very clear about what you are looking for. But what you are looking for should not extend to how a Ghana government should react to issues pertaining to his or her citizens. When they think that the citizens are not being treated well, they have every right to react. And that one should not be your headache, because nobody told you how to go and react to your brothers and sisters who are black people. Look at the harassment that day. It was more than everything. You don't see it to be anything. But we, those who see the picture or the video, we have seen that you overreacted. The person was so helpless in front of you. You didn't even want the person to talk. I am here to tell you this. Go home and fix your country. Go and do this. You that is fixing South Africa, how many jobs have you created ever since you started this march chasing foreigners away? Has that solved the problem in South Africa? And what right do you even have as citizens in South Africa to be doing this to your black brothers and sisters? Why not chase the other people and you are only targeting the black people? So you need to understand that you don't also have the right to go after other people.
United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, Southern Africa, and in South Africa.